Okay, let's unpack this then. Have you have you ever heard someone say that Gen Z workers just sort of job hop? Or maybe that they lack loyalty? It comes up a lot.
Yeah, it's a common perception, definitely.
Well, today we're diving into some really interesting sources. We've got a big CNA survey, Channel News Asia, and some expert insights too from places like Randstad, Singapore, and Aon.
Right.
And we're looking specifically at Gen Z workers in Singapore, those aged, 21 to 28, trying to understand their kind of unique approach to careers.
Exactly. And what's really fascinating, I think, is getting past those surface level ideas. We want to explore the motivations underneath the bigger picture, help you understand this changing world of work.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting with the data. This CNA survey, it found Gen Z workers in Singapore, they prefer to stay in a job for like an average of just 2.9 years.
2.9 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And get this, that's actually the shortest duration compared to their peers right across Asia.
Really? Shorter than everywhere else.
Yep.
If you look at, say, Indonesia, Thailand, the Philippines, it's more like 3.5 years. Malaysia is 3.7. And China, way longer, 4.6 years on average.
That's a pretty significant difference, especially China.
It is. And here's another bit. In Singapore, 37%, that's, more than a third, choose to stay only 1 to 2 years.
Okay.
Compare that to China, where it's only 5% aiming for that shortest stint.
That kind of gap, it really makes you ask, why? Why such a difference? It pushes us past just saying, oh, they job hop.
Exactly. And you see the why in people's actual stories. Like there's Mrs. Kumar, she's 27. She mentioned when she left her first job, her mom actually questioned her loyalty.
Ah, that traditional view.
Right. But Miss Kumar put it this way. She said, loyalty is to yourself. If the company's not serving you, it's okay to leave.
That's quite a statement. And it really connects to what the experts are saying.
How so?
Well, if we connect her perspective, David Blasco from Randstad Singapore, he basically calls this kind of move a rational response.
Rational.
Yeah.
Yeah, a rational response to a market that's just more volatile now.
Yeah.
Think about the pandemic, global restructuring, all that stuff. It's changed the game.
So it's not about being disloyal. It's more like adapting.
Precisely. It looks like job hopping on the surface, but underneath, it's arguably a strategic move because that old promise of long-term security, it's just not always there anymore.
That makes a lot of sense. And the Money Minds survey data seems to really line up with this. It showed the top reasons people quit are things like work-related stress.
A big one these days.
Yeah, and lack of career advancement or, being unhappy with your boss or colleagues.
Right, the actual work environment and growth potential.
But then the reasons people stay. Number one, work-life balance, then high wages and flexible work arrangements.
So it's a whole package, not just the paycheck.
Yeah.
Although pay is still important, obviously.
Obviously. And we see this in other examples too. There's Mr. Heng TJ. He's 28, changed jobs 3 times in 5 years. His main driver, learning. He said basically, if I'm not learning, hesitation to leave will not be high. Straightforward.
The learning is a key motivator. Makes sense.
And another one, a 29-year-old in advertising, she moved on after hitting specific goals at each place. Like, okay, done that, achieved it, I'll just move on.
Goal-oriented progression. It points to a generational difference in priorities, maybe.
Feels like it.
Yeah, Puneet Sawhney from Eon point this out. He notes Gen Z really prioritizes things like flexible work, those learning opportunities we mentioned, the quality of management that's huge, and having a clear path for growth.
Right, which might be different from, say, older generations.
Potentially, yeah. Older workers might have traditionally focused a bit more heavily on, stable pay, benefits, long-term security with one company. It's a shift in focus.
So it's not just about chasing more money then?
Not necessarily, no. I mean, money matters, but it's part of a bigger picture. It's more about holistic career development. One Gen Z worker summed it up nicely, saying something like, if I can do that, grow and learn in a comfortable place, why would I want to leave?
Ah, okay. So finding the right place is key.
Exactly. An environment that actually aligns with their values and, their ambitions for growth.
Okay, so pulling this all together, what we're seeing isn't just random restlessness from Gen Z.
Doesn't seem like it.
It sounds more like a strategic response, really, a reaction to how the working world has changed, driven by this deep need for personal growth, learning, and finding that right fit, not just sticking around out of obligation.
Absolutely. And connecting this to the bigger picture, it really makes you think, doesn't it? How these changing priorities are going to reshape what we all consider a successful, fulfilling career. It challenges the old models.
Yeah, it really does. So here's
Yeah.
something for you to think about as you go about your day. In this job market, which is, let's face it, pretty dynamic, is this idea of loyalty to self actually becoming the new gold standard for navigating your career, for finding that fulfillment.